welcoming you to our chair yoga for the care of Waldenstrom's session for today. My name is Anne Grace. I have been with the IWMF since May 2021, and I'm so grateful to have this job and so grateful to be a part of this community that has grown and thrived since that date. And we are ever expanding, ever deepening our connection with each other. So today's class will help bring us together, I hope. And if you're here live, you can stick around and chat a bit afterwards, strengthen those connections even more. I'd like to just do a very quick centering breathing opening. And this whole class can be done seated. You'll have an opportunity to come to stand at some point. You can decide whether you want to stay seated. And then we'll wind down with another sort of meditation at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming to sit in an upright posture. That could be in a chair, that could be on the floor. Can you hear these chimes okay? Okay. All right. So let's begin to arrive together in this space. Maybe you want to make a small movement here or there, lift the shoulders, move the head from side to side. Stretch the arms. And we'll do a full movement sequence in a moment, but I just want to start with a little bit of centering. So go ahead and place your feet or seat on the earth or chair. Feel that length in your spine, sitting up tall. Rest the arms. Rest the hands. Let those shoulders relax. And we're going to enter into this moment together. Just as you are welcome here. One of our goals of today's session is to manage stress. So we've got this tool right underneath our nose, the tool of the breath, to help us reset the nervous system. So let's take a few breaths together, in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth. Little pursed lips. I'm breathing in, maybe sighing it out. Just exploring what it feels like to breathe. Maybe you can let go of holding that belly for a moment. Let the belly be soft. And just take a few more breaths exactly as you are. Perfectly imperfect. And taking a moment to also widen out your awareness to this amazing community of friends. Just having that sense of togetherness and connection. And in honor of one of our friends just got back from a vacation and noticed so very many bees in the lavender farm she visited. We can take some bees breaths together and imagine we are all bees droning in a garden. We create a little humming sound like that of a bee. It's very calming, soothing. Very good. Coming back to regular breathing and perhaps blinking the eyes open, taking a little moment to kind of roll the eyes around, move the eyes side to side, up and down. Squinch the eyes shut, open them. Get the eyes present. Yes, I love that, Catherine. Wonderful. And now we'll attend to just warming up the body head to toe. So let's go ahead and move through this practice together with an emphasis on the breathing aspect of things. And this can be tremendously calming and helpful for managing stress. Some of us can't just sit and breathe. We have to move and breathe. And that's me, my friends. I need to move. So let's tilt that right ear towards the right shoulder. Come back up through center with a breath in. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, center. Maybe you want to take the arms and just let them dangle at the sides as you continue to move the head from side to side, just tilting. Inhaling, center, you've got it. Exhaling to the side, going at your own pace. Moving from side to side, just exploring what is it like to be in my body today. Just noticing with open curiosity. Yeah, maybe there's some other movement you want to make. Maybe you want to make a circle with that head. Maybe there's an imaginary beam of light shining to the ceiling, drawing a circle. Drawing an oval, whatever shape. And I cannot wait, friends. We're going to be treated to an art therapy webinar at the end of this month. Speaking of drawing, you could move back the other direction. And this will be a little bit different. It's expressive art, so we're combining modalities. There'll be some movement, there'll be some music maybe, there'll be some drawing. Should be really interesting. All right, so any other movements the head or neck would like to make? And then I'll begin to move my shoulders. So moving down to my shoulders, just lifting the shoulders up, which I'm pretty good at, back, which I could be better at, and down. Up, back, and down, just making some circles. Maybe today, just for today, we can go slowly. And we can sample the breath, each breath. Sliding those shoulders back and down. Like you're shrugging off a heavy backpack. Just let it drop to the floor. One or two more. I'm welcoming you, Darlene. So good to see you, friend. I'm glad you corrected the name there. All right. Now I'm going to move my arms. So let's go ahead and just float the arms up a little bit out to the sides. And then bring them back down. So we're just doing a little bit at a time. Maybe it's just one arm. Maybe it's both arms lifting up with an inhale, floating back down with an exhale. Make it your own. I do believe movement can express emotion, can help us move through stress, release stuck emotion, energy. So maybe this movement can show something about how you're doing, how you're feeling. Nice and slow, maybe the arms rising up a little higher. Yes, it's beautiful, Ginger. Just caring for any parts of yourself that might be injured today. You're going to be really careful and gentle. Maybe the arms come all the way up And we can hold there for just a moment, arm or arms lifted all the way up. Big breath in. Hand or hands coming through to heart center. Maybe you could rest a hand on the heart or both hands pressing together at heart center. Beautiful. And then one or both hands are going to come straight out in front of you, the palms still pressed. And I'm pressing the palms together, or imagining that I'm doing so, and just plugging my shoulders back a little bit. So this is a little bit about strength, feeling that strength in my arms or arm. Beautiful. Bringing the hands back to heart center, opening the arms out to the sides, lifting the heart, little bit of a back bend. And then we can bring those hands together, palms touching, pressing together for strength, hands returning to heart center. Take a breath. Open the arms out to the sides. Lift the heart. Beautiful. Bring those palms back in front of you, outstretched arms, palms press, feel the strength, and then hands return to heart center. Taking a breath. Beautiful. Arms opening out to the sides, palms facing forward, heart lifts. Joining the hands in front of you, arms outstretched, palms press. And then we'll stay here with the hands at heart center for one more moment. Maybe you want to close the eyes, dedicate your practice to something or someone, or maybe just a concept, something you need support for today. Just taking a moment to check in with your intention. And then we can release the hands down. All right, how are you guys doing? Feeling okay? All right, I've got my water here. I'm gonna take a little sip and then we'll move, I'll move back so you can see full body. Feel free to do whatever you need to take care of yourself throughout today's session. All right. So I'm going to take a little bit of a wider stance. A little bit of a wider stance here. And just for a moment, I'm going to notice my pelvic bowl. I could place a hand on my belly and a hand on my lower back. And just notice the way that I can maybe tilt or tip my pelvic bowl forward, imagining that the contents are spilling out of the front. And that bowl could tip back, imagining the contents spilling out of the back. And I'm just going to take a few of these very subtle movements, pelvic tilts, bowl tipping forward and back. Hands could be resting on the belly and low back or not. Very good. And then from here, I'll find sort of an in-between tipping forward and tipping back, and kind of keep my awareness on this part of my body for certain movements we're going to be making today. So from here, I'll just bring my right hand up my right rib cage, lean to the left, keeping that right shoulder relaxed. I could take a breath into the right rib cage and release back to center. Left hand, left rib cage, leaning to the right. Fill up the rib cage with breath. And release. Trying that again on each side. So I might stay here a little bit longer, and I want to feel that stretch between my hip and my rib cage. And maybe it's at the low back that I feel this. Good. Moving to the other side. So rooting down through those sit bones. You got it. And then let's go ahead and make this a little bit more of a grand movement. So I'm bringing my right arm up and over and leaning to the left. So exposing a bit more of that right side body, releasing to center. Left arm lift, up and over. Left side body, big stretch. You got it, Dave. And I'm moving at my own pace here today, and I hope you are too. One more time on each side. Very good. I'm going to bring my feet back to hips distance apart. Scoot to the back of my chair. Pick up both legs. Zip them up like a mermaid's tail. And bring the arms straight out in front. Plug the shoulders back. So I'm aware of my pelvic bowl and the strength there. Palms can face each other if that would feel okay. Arms straight out. Big breath in. You feel the legs working. And then I'm releasing, maybe massaging the tops of my legs a little bit. And I'm going to scoot forward in my chair a touch. Do that same thing again with a bit more balance involved. So find if it feels okay to you. Lifting both legs, zipping them up. Arms reaching straight out in front. Plug the shoulders back. Big breath in, heart lifted. And then releasing down, massage the tops of the legs. All right, so one more boat pose here in our chairs. You could even slide forward a bit more. And I'm just going to test and make sure I feel balanced here. So lifting the legs up and then making any adjustments. And when you're ready, once again, we'll lift the mermaid tail up. And we're strong through the core. Heart is lifted. Arms reaching straight out. Imagine we're all in our own boats, but we're sharing the water. Big breath in. Okay, release. I feel that in my legs for sure. Coming to the very, very edge of my chair with my arms down at my sides. So maybe this is just one arm. We're going to do the crane pose, the crane shape that's seated. We learned in Tai Chi. So with my arms down at my sides, I'm going to lift my palms up. Lifting my palms up. So I'm getting a big wrist stretch here. And maybe it's just one arm. And Ginger, I was planning on doing this. You'll modify, I hope, accordingly. And I'll send some love to your wrist. Lifting my arms out to the side, shoulder height. The palms are just straight out. And then as I lift my arms up a little bit farther, I'm going to bring my thumbs to meet all fingers. Right? So I'll get a little closer. You can see what that looks like. It's joining the thumb and the fingers together. So that's the top of the crane pose. And we're bringing the arms down, palms straight out, arms move down, palms lift up. So that's a full cycle. So breathing in, palms out, up, fingers, thumbs touch. And we're coming down, palms out, arms at the sides, palms lifted. So moving at your own pace, your own breath cycle. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Slow flow, for me, is the recipe every time to regulate my nervous system. And also to get energy flowing, right? Some of us came into this session with lower energy. And so if that's you, you might do less repetitions if it feels like it's depleting. I'm still doing my crane here, guys. And I see you doing yours as well. Appreciate that. Maybe we're starting to feel this in the wings, right? I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 more. It's great to just pick a movement and do maybe like 10 reps of it mindfully. So adding the layer of the breath. And that to me is what makes any movement yoga, is that connection, that thread of the breath that ties mind, body, and spirit together. All right, that feels like enough crane to me. I'm going to give myself a hug, one arm on top. Great job, guys. Tuck the chin. Take a couple of breaths. And then release the arms down. I'm giving myself another hug, opposite arm on top. Tucking that chin, finding a couple of breaths. And then releasing. All right, I'm moving back in my chair a little bit, and I'm going to see what it would feel like, with my knees still bent, to hover my feet off of the earth. So I have a little advantage. I have shorter legs, so this might be a little bit easier for me, but I'm just hovering my feet off the earth. My knees are bent. I've zipped up my legs, and it's a nice sort of core energizer. Maybe I just bring my hands to heart center. Legs are hovering. So you can get a pretty good core workout just staying seated. And I feel the hip flexors working as well. I'm going to take one more breath. And then release the arms down. Now I want to stretch the front of my legs. So I'm going to come to the very, very edge of my chair, slide forward, turn my whole body to the right, scoot to the edge of the chair so that my left butt is off the edge. I'm holding onto my chair here, and I'm just going to drop my left knee down. And I feel a little bit of a stretch here. I might be able to sort of push that left heel back, straighten that left leg a little bit. So this is a version of a lunge that we can do in the chair. And maybe you'd like to lift that left arm up. And I could do some pulses of this. So I'm flowing here. I'm lifting the arm and I'm pushing the leg back and releasing back. So just find what feels good to you, including skipping it. That's always an option. You've got it. One or two more. And then I'm releasing, walking myself back to center. In between sides, I'm going to revisit my boat pose with the mermaid tail. So scooting to the back of the chair, lifting both legs, lifting both arms, finding one or two breaths. And release. Beautiful. Coming to the edge of the chair, turning my whole body to the left. That right butt cheek is hanging off the edge of the chair. I'm holding onto my chair and just dropping the right knee down. So you might feel a stretch in the front of the right hip. Maybe I press my right leg back a little bit, straightening it-ish as I lift my right arm up. So I'm getting a nice seated lunge here. Breathing, pulsing through this a few times, making it my own. Maybe as you pulse, you want to squeeze that right glute muscle. One more time. You got it, Nancy. Wonderful. And then I'm coming back to center. And I'm going to go for a little swim here. So this is another Tai Chi movement we learned. And I'm going to come closer so you can see me. So I'm bringing my hands forward, palms face front, arms move to the sides, like I'm pushing through water. And then I swoop my arms back around about rib height, palms up, and then pushing through the water like a breaststroke. So taking a few breaststrokes here. This is called bear swimming. Maybe it's just one arm, a one-armed bear swimming. All right, and I just want you to remember what that movement is. Now I'm going to add, with my bear swimming, I'm going to lift both legs out with the palms forward. And as I bring my hands out to the sides, I'm going to hover my legs over the earth. So I'm breaststroke, legs lifting, and bringing my wings around, I hover my heels. Trying to sit up nice and tall as I do this. Breathing. Got it, Marnie. Beautiful. Sitting up tall. Last one. All right. Coming to the edge of my chair, nice wide stance. Take some torso circles here. Let the pelvic bowl tip forward and back. Circling the other direction. Just a little reset for the spine. And then we'll come back to neutral. Walk both feet about hips distance apart. Take that sip of water if you need it. And then I want to do one more side body stretch here, but let's get one of the legs involved. So I'm going to let's bring the right leg out to the right. I'm at the edge of my chair. I might even be holding onto my chair. So the right leg is out to the right with maybe the foot on the earth or maybe the heel on the earth and the toes lifted. And what I'm going to do here is just stretch down my right leg, sliding down my right arm, sliding down my right leg, and maybe that left arm lifts up and over. Torso pointing forward, heart facing me. Big breath in. And then relax back to center. Maybe you want to do one more with the leg out to the right. Good, and then we'll reset at center with a couple of pelvic tilts. So both feet hip distance, and I'm accentuating my lumbar curve, erasing my lumbar curve, just tilting the pelvis forward and back. A little reset. And then we can slide that left leg out to the left. Maybe the whole sole of the foot on the earth, or maybe it's just the heel with the toes lifted. Sliding my left hand down my left leg, lifting the right arm up and over. Big stretch. You got it. Come on back to center. And one more. Big breath in. Very good. All right, bringing my feet back to hips distance apart, sliding to the edge of my chair, bringing my feet back a little bit, preparing to stand just for maybe one or two poses today. So I'm going to create some momentum, nose over knees. I'm turning on my core, turning on my glute muscles. I might lift up just a little bit, sit right back down. Practice my sit to stands. If I'm caring for knee issues, I might skip the sit to stands and just come to stands or stay seated, up to you. Maybe I want to use my arms for some momentum here. Swinging my arms, lifting up out of my chair, sitting right back down. And this, my friends, is the way to stay smooth with this transition. I'm going to come to stands. Beautiful. And then go ahead and reset for a moment. Take a sip. And it's always an option to stay seated the entire time. All right, already I feel quite a lot of energy flowing from those movements. We'll do just a couple more things here and wind down. So I'm going to stand with my feet about hips distance apart, and I'm just going to bend one knee at a time. And as I do this, bending one knee at a time, I'm kind of massaging the soles of my feet, giving my toes a stretch. So really great for peripheral neuropathy if you care for that in the lower limbs. It's kind of massaging the bottoms of the feet, kind of remembering, oh yeah, I do have feet. Good. So you could stay doing this if this feels really good, or you might come up onto both tiptoes, so lifting up and softening back down. We're holding on to the chair if need be. Inhaling, lifting up onto those tiptoes, exhaling, floating our way back down. You could add the crane arm movement to this. Maybe it's just one wing. So I'm rising up and floating down, or maybe I'm just sitting and breathing and finding my breath cycle. Flowing in, lifting up, flowing out, floating down. Maybe I'm doing this in my mind's eye. Got it, really nice. Now this next time that I come down, I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm just going to bring my hands to my thighs, bending my knees, bringing my hips back. Ignite the glute muscles. Maybe you want to push the feet away isometrically. And then maybe you swing those arms straight out in front for chair pose. Palms face each other. And I'm going to tip my pelvic bowl back just a little bit. And that really takes the strain off of my low back, personally. All right, we're holding, we're breathing. And then we'll come out of it when you're ready. Maybe you want to walk it out a little bit. Walk it out a little bit. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And then I want to get into one of my favorite of all time poses. It didn't used to be one of my favorites, but triangle pose. So I've got my chair here. I'm going to turn my right toes to the right with a little bit of a wider stance than normal, but not as wide as a warrior two stance. So I've got my right toes turned to the right. My left hand is on my hip, like a little handle on a teapot. I'm going to turn my left toes in a little bit and kind of sass out that left hip, right? Don't be shy, sass that hip out. And then I'm going to be pouring my right arm over my right leg and coming back up. So I'm just kind of stretching, pouring, and coming back up, keeping that left shoulder back. And maybe the next time I come down, I want to bring my hand onto my chair or onto my leg. And know that you can always change the positioning of your foot. And maybe that left arm lifts up. You got it. You could always just bring that hand onto the chair, that right hand onto the chair. Very nice. I'm going to come back up nice and slow. And with my right hand on the chair and my right toe still facing the chair, I'll just pour a little bit of weight into this right foot. And I'm going to kick up the left leg and come back down. So make sure that knee is aligned right over the ankle, so we're staying stable as I kick up my left leg and squeeze that left glute muscle. And this is my half moon hop, I'm calling it. Maybe I want to stay there with that right leg lifted. Hips are open for this one. Right shoulder back, left shoulder back. Maybe that left arm lifts. It's like a mid cartwheel. You got it. One big breath and then let it go. Walk it out. Nice job, guys. Do a little sachet. Whatever movement would feel good. Maybe you want to do a little windmill, a little hula. And then I'll take my triangle on the other side. So I've got my left toes to the left. A little bit of wider stance. Angling that right foot in, sassing out that right hip. Right hand on my hip. This is my teapot handle. And then this left hand is going to be the spout, pouring out. I'm leaning forward and pouring my teapot out over my left leg, keeping that right shoulder back. Maybe I want to make this dynamic. Maybe I want to stretch and stay static, lifting that, bringing that left arm down onto my chair or my leg, lifting that right arm up. Hug the muscle along the bone. We're getting a nice bone strengthening pose here, putting pressure on the bones, exciting the osteocytes. And then come on back up when you're ready. You got it, Robin, beautiful. And I'll start to bring my weight into this left leg, holding onto my chair, kicking up that right leg, coming right back down. I like to have my hand on my hip to start here. Yeah, maybe you want to hold it. Maybe you want to flow in and out of it. Just find your edge. Maybe that right arm lifts up. My gaze could be anywhere. It could be down, could be straight ahead, could be up. I like down personally. It's very grounding. And then we'll come out of it nice and slow. Come around to the front of the chair. Take a seat. Take a sip and take a seat. All right. I'm going to explore my figure 4 hip stretch here. So I've got my right ankle over my left knee. And I don't have to go very far before I feel quite a bit of sensation. When I want more, I might lean forward a touch, softening my shoulders. Feeling that hip stretch. You got it. One more breath. And then we'll sit up tall, cross the knee over. I'm taking my gentle twist to the right, using my arms however feels good. Maybe a little bit of support for my twist, but not cranking my back when I do this. Nice tall spine. A couple more breaths here. And when you're ready, just slowly unwinding back to center. You got it. Left ankle now over the right knee, if that would feel okay. Modify if it doesn't. Leaning into the stretch however much you would like to. Reminding the shoulders not to always work so hard. Breathing into the sensation. Sitting up when you're ready, cross that knee over. Get long in the spine, twisting to the left. Arms are there just for a little bit of support. You got it, Edith. Gentle twist. 2 more breaths. And then a nice unwind back to center. Maybe you want to take a stretch, interlace the fingers, push the palms up to the ceiling. Sit back in your chair, stretch the legs out, wiggle the toes, roll the wrists, whatever movements would feel good to you. And then I'll invite you to get into a very comfortable posture so we can wind down and let the body have a moment to rest, a moment or two to rest. So go ahead. Some of you might even want to lie down on the earth with support. If you're accustomed to practicing a shavasana, that would be appropriate. Or if you want to stay seated and treat this more as a meditation, that's absolutely fine as well. So coming into whatever posture feels best to you, where you feel like you have a little bit of support. And you could take a breath in and just let your body soften into that support. Let's practice relaxing together. We're breathing in, and as we exhale, we're letting go of effort. See if you can follow that exhalation all the way out. Let the exhale be a little bit longer than the inhale. You could take little sips of air up one side of the mountain and slide down the other side. Smooth, long exhale. Little sips of air in, climbing the mountain and then sliding down, letting all that breath out. See if you can follow the exhalation to its very end, and then let there be a tiny little pause. Maybe you want to just say to yourself inwardly, in this moment, I am doing nothing. And by doing nothing, I'm doing something. I'm allowing my body to rest. And rest is so important, integral for immune system health. I am doing nothing. Almost like an act of rebellion, the rebellion of rest. Can I let go of my shoulders, my jaw, my arms? Can I let my legs be heavy, my belly soften? Maybe I can imagine myself floating down the stream of life. Knowing that I can stay here in this relaxed posture as long as I need to. If I feel ready to come out of it, I could begin to make some small movements, lick my lips, swallow. Stretch through the fingers and toes. Come up to sit if I'm reclining. And again, the option to stay resting is always there. Just for one moment longer, taking your hands to heart center if it's in your practice, or resting a hand on the heart. We'll close our session today with the sensation of connectedness, sending those roots down and those tendrils out to one another, drawing up nourishment when we need it, sending out support when we can. And I'll close our session with the sound of 1 Om and 3 Shantis for peace. You can join in if you like, or just listen. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste.